So hi, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to answer a question, how did they do it? Taking a dump at Versailles. I know many people have questions about this, and we're going to answer those questions today. So Versailles is a palace in Paris, France, where Marie Antoinette lived with her entourage. So this gives you some idea of the court life in Paris at the time. So as you can see, here's Marie Antoinette in a beautiful gown. It looks like she's wearing the curtains. And here she is over here. She's got a beautiful gown with feathers and about 10 pounds of wig. And this middle picture shows you more or less court life at the palace. Now here's the thing. We often wonder, Versailles, this is the beautiful Galerie des Glaces at Versailles. It's one of the great halls that they have. Now, Versailles has over 1,000 rooms and not one restroom, no toilets. They never had that. These obviously didn't exist in those days, so people say, well, they used to just take a dump on the floor. Well, that's not true. They didn't do it that way. Basically, to answer that question, we have to go back in time to Elizabeth I of England. So as you can see, here she is in beautiful gowns, and this is the beginning of our story. So these gowns were basically beautiful gowns. They were very well made, and basically the kings and queens, as you know, they had to go for a dump just like the rest of us, so they also farted. So these gowns would hold a lot of fart. In other words, you could go to court and fart in the gown and not have a problem. So let's look at this because this is the beginning of our story. Now, a frock is a woman's dress. It's a British term. So you have frock fart, which is the noun, which you would get from farting in a frock, which is the verb. So when you fart in a frock, you get frock fart, but you could also get fart in a frock as a noun too. But you wouldn't get frock fart as a verb because you'd have to fart in the frock first before you can get the frock fart. But fart in a frock can be a noun, which is called fart frock, or fart in a frock. So that's in the British terms. But on the continent, in France, in Paris, it was called fart in the gown. This was more delicate and more ladylike and refined. Or you'd have gown fart or gas in your gown. So basically, when the British would send their emissaries to Paris, they would have fart in the frock. But the French court, it was always fart in the gown or gown fart or gas in your gown. Regardless of what it was called, you were fucked. Because let's face it, this was a major problem at the palace at court. Keep in mind that you're now visiting in front and you're being introduced to the king, you're having a party, you're dancing. You don't want to have fart in your frock or gas in your gown, whatever. So you always have to be ladylike at all times, and this was the major problem at Versailles and basically all the palaces. How do you take a dump dressed like this with these big, huge, beautiful gowns? You're wearing capes and finery. You've got big, huge wigs. So throughout the time, this was the problem. You can see in these two big, beautiful dresses over here. Here you have Marie Antoinette in these big, huge gowns. You try and take a dump with something like that on. My God. So all throughout the courts of Europe, no matter where you were over years, many of these ladies, these great ladies, had problems about how to take a dump at court with no facilities. So this is how they do it, but first there's a warning. This is for mature audiences only. The following picture shows in a graphic detail some nudity and compromising body position. The picture is explicit, showing daily bodily functions. Some may consider the material pornographic and offensive. Viewer discretion is advised. With that warning out of the way, so here we are. This is how she did it. As you can see, this lady is very refined. She's got a beautiful dress on with lace and fluff. Her hair is well done. She's got ribbons and bows. And notice how daintily she's able to take a leak or a crap, whichever it is. I think it's probably in this case a leak. So she's very dainty, ladylike. So notice with poise and grace, she's able to do it. And this is how they did it. It was nothing to unzip, nothing to pull down. Just whip it in there and away you go. So this is how they did it in those days. So I hope that this answers a lot of your questions, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. So please put your comments down below, And if you're able to answer the question whether she's taking just a piss or a crap, if you know the answer, please mention it. And hopefully any other comments that you may have about the video, and if you've learned anything, and if this made a change in your life. So thank you very much. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And please hit the like button and subscribe for future videos that will be bringing up topics that are important to humanity, similar to this one, where we're going to answer questions that have been left unanswered for so many years. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.